Osho was born in central India as Chandra Mohan Jain on December 11, 1931, to a merchant family. He was raised by his grandparents until the age of 7, when he witnessed his grandfather pass away before his eyes in a bullock cart. He returned to live with his parents and first attended school at age 9. As a boy, he constantly questioned his teachers and played practical jokes on adult figures of authority, while leading his school friends on dives, whirlpool swims, and hikes on narrow cliff paths. As a teenager, the boy who was nicknamed Raj began experimenting with yoga, meditation, and other esoteric techniques. He was an avid reader with the photographic memory, and by the age of 14, was said to have read over 4,000 books. In 1947, at the age of 15, his first girlfriend, Shashi, died of typhoid and pneumonia, but not before promising she would return to him. In 1951, Raj attended Hitkarini College in Jabalpur, but was kicked out after 8 months for constantly questioning his professors. He was allowed to attend the University of Jabalpur under the condition that he do his own studies and be tested at the end of the year. He majors in philosophy and receives his BA in 1955, but not before experiencing enlightenment under a tree at Bonvoltar Garden on March 21, 1953, at the age of 21. He does not tell anybody at the time, although the local mystic, Maga Baba, is said to have recognized his transformation. In 1957, Rajneesh graduates with a master's from Sagar University. The same year, he wins the gold medal at the All India Debating Championship. The following year, he begins an associate professorship at the University of Jabalpur, a position he will retain for the next 8 years. He becomes a very popular professor, with lines of students waiting to hear his lectures. Beginning in 1960, he begins to travel throughout India on grueling train rides for conferences, public debates, and radio appearances. He makes a name for himself with controversial positions on topics such as Hinduism and capitalism, and for his savage critiques of beloved figures like Gandhi and Mother Teresa. Those enraptured by his talks claimed he had Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, on his tongue, and begin calling him Acharya, the Hindu term for wise teacher. In June 1964, he holds his first meditation camp, and in December of that year, a transcription of discourses and meditations from the camp is published as The Path to Self-Realization, which becomes his first full-length book. More books and pamphlets, all transcriptions of his talks, are published in the mid to late 1960s. On August 1, 1966, Acharya Rajneesh is pressured to resign his professorship due to his controversial image, which gives him more time to travel the country, speaking to as many as 20,000 people in various public gatherings. In 1969, Rajneesh publishes From Sex to Superconsciousness, based on a series of talks he gave the previous summer and fall. The book becomes a national bestseller, turning him into a household name in India, although he also receives threats to his life over its overtly carnal subject matter. In May 1970, the Acharya introduces his first active meditation, which he labels dynamic, a 5-stage, 1-hour practice that alternates hyperventilative breathing, primal catharsis, silence, and dancing in a revolutionary synthesis of Western and Eastern approaches. In July, he moves to Bombay, where he eventually settles in a high-rise apartment called Woodland. He appoints a close disciple, who he has named Ma Yoga Lakshmi, to be his secretary, and announces that he is done traveling, looking for followers. Now, he wants his followers to come to him. On October 5th, he initiates the first disciples into a practice he calls Neo-Sannyas. They are instructed to wear all orange clothing, a 108-bead mala with his image in a locket at the center, and adopt a new Sanskrit name. Unlike traditional Indian sannyasins who practice strict asceticism, Rajneesh's sannyasins were told to embrace life, music, dance, sex, emotion. In April 1971, he meets the Englishwoman Christine Wolfe at one of his meditation camps. She is initiated into sannyas and renamed Ma Yoga Vivek. She soon becomes Rajneesh's caretaker and girlfriend, upon which he claims she is the reincarnation of Shashi, the girlfriend who died when he was 15 and promised to return. Despite this, he is known to have other sexual encounters with female disciples at his Bombay apartment and is not monogamous with Vivek until 1973. At the end of 1971, he changes his title from Acharya to Bhagwan, a term that translates to the Blessed One, although for many it could also be interpreted as God. This new title enrages many of his older Indian followers, although he is now beginning to attract his first disciples from the West. He often instructs Westerners who are visiting to go back to their homes and establish Rajneesh meditation centers. In March 1973, he initiates Sheila Patel into sannyas, renaming her Ma Anand Sheila. She had first met him with her father in 1965 and had come hoping he could help cure her American husband Mark Silverman, renamed Swami Chinmaya, of Hodgkin's lymphoma. Chinmaya, who was given just 6 more months to live at the time, ends up staying with the Guru for another 7 years. By early 1974, Rajneesh was attracting many Western psychotherapists from the human potential movement. There are so many visitors now coming to hear him in Bombay that Bhagwan sends Lakshmi out to look for a new location to set up an ashram. While in the posh, tree-lined Pune district of Corrigan Park, an exclusive neighborhood developed in the early 20th century for the British colonialists and now occupied by wealthy Indians, she is inspecting one of the mansions when a large almond falls from a tree and lands on her head. Seeing this as an omen, she pockets the almond, and upon showing it to her master back in Bombay, he makes that home his choice for the ashram, buying it with some help from a close sannyasin named Mukta, a wealthy Greek shipping heiress.